everybody, welcome to the Mana Leek. I'm John as always, and I'm in the car, so you know what that means. It's time for another Magic pre-release vlog recap. It's been a while. I haven't done one of these since the last pre-release. I didn't do any Chaos drafts or anything like that. And the last time you heard me, I talked about how the Gamers Emporium, my local game store, might be closing down, and I might not do these ever again, or even play paper Magic ever again. The store didn't close down. The old owner found a new owner. In fact, a lot of people wanted to buy the store, but one very dedicated person did buy the store, so it stayed open. It was closed for a grand total of 1 day to do inventory and transition. So we still have the Gamers Emporium. We still have the great, inclusive, positive, welcoming community, and we're going to go there and we're going to play Guilds of Ravnica Sealed, which I'm super excited about. I've played a lot of it due to the Magic Online, Magic Arena sponsored stream and just playing it in general. I'm super excited for this. I haven't played it Gilded Sealed yet, so we're going to see how that goes, but let's go play some Magic. I don't usually go to this Starbucks on the weekends. I wasn't prepared for that line. Anyways, we're still not late. We're close to late, but I got my pumpkin spice latte because I'm basic and I'm totally okay with that fact. Now, Magic time. So I showed up really early, which I thought was going to be early enough to get Dimir. I did not get Dimir, unfortunately. It was already gone. I got here 1 minute after it was supposed to open, so Izzet was still there, so I picked up Izzet, which was okay. It was my second choice. I'm going to try to get here really early tomorrow for pre-release so that I do get Dimir, but the Izzet deck seems okay. The seeded pack definitely takes away the mystery of deck building and the challenge of deck building. My deck was clearly Izzet. I had like 5 white cards and like maybe 7 black cards. It was very clearly going to be a blue-red deck. So I've got Niv Mizzet, I've got card draw, I've got a Murmuring Mystic, I've got the Spells Matters stuff, and I'm splashing for a Luminous Bonds and a Tajik with a Boros Guildgate and a couple of planes. So it should be a decent deck. It's not the deck that I wanted. I wanted Dimir, but boy did Dimir go real quick. Anyways, round 1's about to start, so let's go play some Magic. So that's round 1 over. After some pairings issues due to people not being in the system, I got paired up against Sean, the previous owner of the Gamers Emporium. So Sean was on Dimir playing double Etrata, 1 promo Etrata, 1 not promo Etrata. Luckily, while I saw both in one game, I was able to kill one. She killed one of my creatures, and that was the last we saw of Etrata. The deck just worked. Game 1, in fact, I had Sean down low enough life total that risk factor jump-started risk factor with 2 Goblin Electromancers on the board, meaning that it cost me 1 mana apiece, meant that I drew 6 cards for 2 mana on one of the final turns of the game, and took that game down pretty hard. Game 2, I mulled to 6, and it was a bit closer, but I was able to draw the proper amount of lands and eventually get a City Watch Sphinx down to kind of block his stuff and pass Wall Adept. I'm going up and up and up on that card. I was able to just come in with a 5/4 unblockable for 3 mana each turn, and that was the end of Sean in 2. So we're 1-0. Izzet's doing just as good as I thought. I'm confident in it being, I think, the second best deck in the format. It's certainly not the worst, as I've seen some people say. I'm really loving Izzet. I can't wait to draft this, but let's go into round 2. So round 2's over. I was up against Alex, who I haven't played before, but he was on Boros, pretty good Boros. Turn 1, Goblin Banneret into other things to attack me for a whole great big bunch. Game 1 was easy because he played almost nothing but lands, and so I took him down pretty quickly. I had 2 Goblin Electromancers down and was just casting spells left and right. Pretty okay match there. Game 2, he just super out-aggroed me. I got Niv Mizzet down eventually, but he Luminous Bonds'd it. It was kind of back and forth. It was a pretty good game, but he did take me down in game 2. Game 3, I mulled to 5, took him down to 6 life, but just couldn't do it. I didn't have enough with the Malt of 5. I needed more lands, I needed more card draw, I needed more than you can possibly draw in one turn. So unfortunately, taken down in round 2, so I'm 1-1. Still in top 8 potentials, but it's gonna be really hard, but top 16 maybe. So let's go and have lunch and then do round 3. So round 3 is over. I was up against Jamie, who was on Boros again, and he was pretty scary. He got down the Goblin Banneret, he got down the 2/2 First Strike, he got a counter on a Healer's Hawk, so you know, I've finally seen that be a 2/2 once. But yeah, he got me down really low. He got me down to 6, but I was able to stabilize with a bit of enchantment removal with my Splashed Luminous Bonds, and eventually pulled out that match, barely. I'm not entirely sure how I pulled that one out, but I got really lucky. Game 2, I got even more lucky. He mulled down to 4. Still kept a very good aggressive hand. The Boros deck can definitely come out of a mulligan very quick, but that did cost him. He had a very quick start. He got Maniacal Rage onto a 2/2, and I was gonna be in trouble, but Capture Sphere took care of that, and then just eventual card advantage. So I'm now 2-1 with Izzet. Super loving the set, super loving Izzet. So let's go play match 4 and continue winning, I guess. I'll try. So that's round 4 in the bag. I was up against Ray. Always a good time against Ray. He went into aggro. He was a weird sort of Selesnya kind of mix. And then during the lunch break, I helped him out and got him into a much more aggressive Boros deck. So of course I was against Boros for the 3rd time in a row today. And yeah, game 1, he just utterly crushed me. Just Boros the way you want to Boros. And there wasn't much I could do about that, unfortunately. Game 2, I drew 6 lands and a Niv Mizzet in my opening 7, so I certainly mulliganed that. But I was able to just hold on. I was able to just present blockers. He wasn't able to do the Mentor thing. It's the issue that I find with Mentor and with Boros, is if you draw out of order or you play out of power curve order, you're just playing expensive 3/1s and they don't do anything. And by the time they can Mentor, they're just going to trade so easily. So game 2 wasn't too much of a problem. Game 3, I had to mulligan down to 6 again, but everything just kind of worked out. Risk Factor did a lot of work, actually. Him taking 4 and me coming in with a Fire Urchin means that that was 6 on turn 3. And that just sitting in the graveyard was great. So at the end of the game, I was eventually able to draw 3 cards because there was no way he could take 4, which refilled my hand with Hypothesizzles and the direct current, and was able to take him down. So we're 3-1. Only lost 1 match, 2 matches left. Hopefully we can pull it out. So let's go to match 5. So round 5 is over. I was up at table 3 all the way at the top. 3 from the top, but at the top physical table, playing against Duncan, who thankfully wasn't Boros. He lied to me and said he was Boros, and I nearly had a heart attack. He was playing Dimir, and a hell of a Surveil Dimir, like double the 1 blue black enchantment that I can't remember the name, Disinformation Campaign, triple Watcher in the Mist. That card is incredibly good, probably just the best blue common, but man, Izzet did its thing. Risk Factor again being fairly decent. F was not appropriate for that card, but you still have to make sure that you are absolutely planning for that card. You must be doing a bunch of damage. Izzet, surprisingly, at least my deck, is not the sit behind a bunch of walls and cast a bunch of spells. It is attack and cast a bunch of spells, and it does pretty good in doing that. So match 1, I was just able to take him down with Risk Factor and Direct Current and just damage to the face. And then game 2, he stumbled on creatures for a little bit, and I was able to drop a Niv Mizzet, and there was nothing that he could do about that. So we're 4-1. We're 4-1. We've got a single match left to go. I probably can tie or draw into the top 8. I'll have to take a look at the standings, see what they look like. But otherwise, I think I'm in prizes. So decent. Let's go to match 6. So match 6 is in the books. I was 8th place at the beginning of match 6, which was unfortunate because it means that I couldn't draw into the top 8. I could draw into the top 16. I could play and win into the top 8 or lose possibly out of the top 16. Looking at the standings, I think I actually would have just gotten 16th place. So instead, we discussed a split. I just conceded to Tomo, and then we discussed the possibility of a split, as Tomo would get top 8 and I would get top 16. And then we played a match because the split would have been uneven. It would have been 7.5 packs, and I relatively easily won the little best of 1 match that we played, arena style. So I'm gonna get myself 8 packs, finish up technically in the top 8, but not quite in the top 8. So not bad for the day. It's really good. I really like it. I want to draft it, make a better copy of it. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try to get Dimir, and if I don't, probably just take Izzet again. It's really good. Well, it's day 2. We are back in the car. It's Sunday morning. It's a gray, gross, rainy, dismal day outside, which hopefully won't affect recording. I might have to like run back into the car in between every round to do the recording if it's raining outside. But it's much earlier. I'm much more tired. There goes the camera. The camera's back. That's about how I feel this morning. So I'm a little bit late. I'm gonna get to the store like 2 minutes after it opens, which means probably 0 chance of getting Dimir. But hopefully I get Dimir. If I don't, I'll probably just go Izzet again. It's super good, it's super powerful. A lot of the top decks yesterday were Izzet. The ones that weren't were Dimir. But yeah, let's go to the store and let's play 4 more rounds of Magic. So it is still a very gray, drizzle day outside, but at least the rain's not really heavy. It's raining. I'm definitely getting wet and spit on, but it's not too bad. So I got here early. I was the 2nd person in the store after the owner and the previous owner, who's also playing today. And so I got Dimir. And I'm not playing Dimir. The seeded pack was awful. I got Connive and Concoct, which is fine, but it's not Thief of Sanity, it's not Lazav, it's not the good Dimir rares. There was no removal. I think I have a Deadweight and a Severed Strands. I've got a Nightveil Predator, of course, because I think that comes in most of the seeded packs. But the Dimir pool was just not there. But I did get an Aurelia and a Swiftblade Vindicator and an Experimental Frenzy and a whole bunch of red-white. So after all that stress, after all that time getting here early, spending an hour sitting around with my Dimir pack, I'm playing Boros. So let's go smack people in the face, I guess. Well, it's definitely raining a bit more. Still not pouring, but it's aggressively sprinkling, we'll say. I don't want to stay out here too long. So match 1, I was up against Paul. Paul picked Boros and went Boros, so it was a Boros mirror match. But boy, did my Boros kind of work. Match 1, I went Healer's Hawk into Sunholm Stalwart into Rock Charger, meaning that my entire team was flying and the game was over on like turn 6, I think it was. Maybe turn 7, but I think it was turn 6. Game 2, I stumbled a little bit more. I didn't quite get the power curve that Boros needs, and he kind of did. He got a Swath Cutter Giant out, and I couldn't really get in through that 5-5, and he took me down in game 2. Game 3 was much more of the first playing, you know, power curve, creature curve, attacking with a whole bunch with Rock Charger to help out. Man, it's really good. That card's an uncommon now. It needs to be an uncommon for a healthy limited format, because if this was a common, it would be pretty broken in draft and sealed. But we're 1-0 with Boros, so we're gonna go smash some more faces for round 2. So round 2's over. I was up against Jacob, who was Boros again, meaning that in 8 matches of Guilds of Ravnica, I have played 6 Boros opponents, so that's fun. Unfortunately, Jacob was building Boros from a Boros kit, whereas I'm playing 5-pack sealed because I literally can't play anything out of my Dimir pack in my Boros deck. So I lost. Unfortunately, I got absolutely crushed. He had plenty of mentor creatures and curved out properly. I did not. And that was just the end of me, unfortunately. Yeah, gotta say, I think seeded packs probably should have stayed dead. If your pool does not support it, you're literally playing 5-pack sealed if you have to go fully off color like I am. So I'm not a fan of it. I'm pretty happy to try out regular sealed, pretty happy to play sealed on Arena, but we're gonna make it through the rest of this day playing 5-pack sealed and never play gilded pack sealed again until January, I suppose. So let's go try to smash more face. So match 3's over. I was up against Chris, who, wanna guess what he was playing? He was playing Boros. So that's 3 straight Boros matchups for me today, 3 yesterday. 6 of my 9 paper pre-release Guilds of Ravnica matches have been against Boros, and I'm kind of sick and tired of it. But I'm still having fun while losing, which is a huge, huge, huge sign of a really good format. So I'm super excited to continue playing this in draft and in regular sealed on Arena, etc. I'm excited to never see guild packs again, however. Yeah, so match 1, Chris was the faster person. Match 2, I was the faster person. Match 3, Chris was the faster person. I don't have much else to say about that match, really. So today's been pretty boring, unfortunately, just playing the same thing over and over and over. I'm out of prizes, but I'm going to stick around for the last match just to get one more match of this in. And I scouted the field, and I absolutely cannot play Boros again. There is no other person that I can possibly play today who is playing Boros. So at least we get a match not that. So let's go play that and have fun. Well, I'm back in the car again, which means, of course, the tournament is over. Round 4, I was up against, you guessed it, not Boros, because it physically couldn't happen, thankfully, because Marco dropped. I had the same record as Marco. Marco was apparently the last Boros player, which I didn't notice, and I could have been paired against him. He dropped, so I was spared Boros one last time. I was up against Mustafa for the final round. He was on Selesnya. The very first time in 10 matches this weekend that I've ever played Selesnya. I still have not played against Golgari. And my deck worked. I finally drew Aurelia. Would have been great if I drew her ever in any of the other games, but I did not. And of course, she was absolutely incredible. And I took him down quite fast in 2 games. So I ended up 2-2. I'm not actually sticking around to see where I finish up. I checked the standings, and I'm at best in like 10th place, so I'm out of prizes. So no real point in sticking around. So I'm heading home. I'm going to brew some beer and then probably hop on Arena and try to play some 6-pack sealed, because boy, if anything this weekend has shown me, it's that there's a reason that seeded packs died and went away. Things were super unbalanced. Yesterday at the top tables, it was nothing but Izzet and Dimir. Top tables today, nothing but Izzet except for a single Boros deck in the top. It's unbalanced. It's really unbalanced. If you were Selesnya and you actually tried to play Selesnya, I think your chances were way, way, way lower. I'm not going to say that nobody out there won. Of course, somebody did. But I think there were certainly packs that were just totally, totally, totally stocked towards a specific guild color. And if you weren't that guild color, you weren't going to win. So I'm pretty unhappy that we're going to have to do that again in January. But, like I said, I enjoyed all the games today. I enjoyed all the games yesterday. The games that I lost, I enjoyed. This set seems super fun. I'm super excited to draft it. I'm going to continue playing Sealed on Magic Arena. I'm going to jam the set quite a bit. I really enjoy it. So let me know how your pre-release is going in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at @TheManaLeek. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeek, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeek, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeek. If you like the content, click the thumbs up button, click subscribe if you want to see more, and if you do have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.